Hey y'all, hey. Well, it's been a little minute since the last time we came together as a family on the sideline. So yeah, welcome back to another edition of Sideline Banter with your girl Tink. Oh man, the sports world been popping. The sidelines have been bantering since the last time we came together as a family. We have the NFL preseason upon us. So we even have a preseason game Thursday. I believe it's at 7 p.m. between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. Shout out to Jeremiah Love. Shout out to him. Um, so yeah, that's popping off tonight. That's the Hall of Fame game, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the WNBA has been thriving. Let me tell y'all something. The WNBA has been some of the best basketball we have seen this season. I mean, I know most people prefer men over women as far as when it comes to basketball because of the highlights you get. You might get dunks, you might get some fancy plays, whatever. But if you just want to see good basketball, slide over to the WNBA, baby, because them women is cooking. You hear me? Them women are hooping, hooping in all caps, exclamation points. So shout out to the ladies in the W. They holding it down real big, holding it down real big. So let's just go ahead on and get into what's been popping off lately. A lot of the big things with the NFL. So we have a few deals that has been made. A couple of historic extensions have popped off. We're gonna start out with B. John Robinson. Hey, B. John, come to the front of the line. Sit down. So B. John signed a historic 3 year, $75 million extension with the Atlanta Falcons, which makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? B. John, that's how you feel. So yeah, B. John probably getting them hey big head text messages. Don't respond, B. John. Don't do it. Don't fall for the trap. Don't fall for the trap. um, you have Zay Flowers, who also secured a massive 4 year, $140 million extension with the Baltimore Ravens. Ugh, I can't talk today. With the Baltimore Ravens. That's insane. That is insane. I'm not mad at it. I'm all about getting your money. Go get your money, especially in football, because you never know what might happen to where you don't even know if that type of opportunity will come again as far as getting that much money. So shout out to Zay. Uh Stefan Diggs, the man who has any and everything going on, whether he is in court, whether him and Cardi is going. Stefan, and then you got a man about suing you about a relation. I don't know. A male sexual harassment accusation. Stefan, you have too much going on that don't involve football. Let's stick to football. Now, he just signed a contract with the Washington Commanders. So he'll be joining Jaden Daniels and the Commanders this upcoming season. The details of that deal have not yet been disclosed. If it is, I haven't seen it. And once I get it, I'm gonna bring it to you. But yeah, Stefan, listen. Whatever you got going on that ain't got nothing to do with football, leave it at the house. Jaden and them ain't got time. Okay, leave that where it's at. We don't need all these. We don't need all these accusations. We don't need the court dates. We don't need the baby mom. We don't need it. We just need football from you right now. Okay. So, but shout out to Stefan. Of course, he did play for the University of Maryland. So he was with them, I believe, at their media day recently. So shout out to Stefan. I do hope this works out for the best for you. I really do. I hope this works out in favor of the Commanders. Hey, Jaden, you got you somebody to throw the ball to. Got somebody else you can throw the ball to. So, Stefan, as I said, leave the foolishness at the house. Leave it at the house. Another deal which came through, I want to say this morning, at least that's when I seen it, was Jonathan Taylor, who signed a 2-year, $44 million extension with the Colts that is worth up to $47 million with $39 million guaranteed. Go ahead, Jonathan. The Colts went ahead and gave him the bag. The Colts went ahead and gave him the bag. I love that for him. I love that for him. So shout out to those that's getting their coins. Okay. To those that's getting their coins. Training camp has kicked off. Yeah. It's a lot of chatter. It's a lot of chatter going around different camps. Of course, with the Panthers, they've had a few injuries. From my understanding, they should still be fine from what I was told. But injuries. Yes, we know injuries are a part of the game, but it really sucks to hear of significant injuries like torn ACLs or MCLs during training camp, because those injuries are typically season ending. So you're basically done before the season even starts. And I really hate to hear that for any player in any sport. But, it's a part of the game, unfortunately. It's the part of the game we don't like. So, but a lot of the chatter that's going on is in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So before I had them come to the front of the line, y'all got time. So Cleveland, you got time to get to the front of the line. So I'm gonna chat about somebody else, but you have time to come to the front of the line because we're gonna talk about what y'all been talking about in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Minnesota, Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy are of course battling for QB1. The question is gonna be who gonna come out on top. Now, from what I've seen between the two, give me Kyler. Give me Kyler Murray. No shade, JJ, but give me Kyler. The Atlanta Falcons, they got Tua from the Dolphins. He was previously with the Dolphins. He's now with Atlanta, and he's competing for QB1 against Michael Penix Jr. I don't even know who's gonna win what. I don't know. Tua is always fighting for his life with concussions. He hasn't looked his best. Especially the last season in Miami, he didn't play the best football, but we shall see. We shall see. And in Vegas, you got Kirk Cousins that's going against Fernando Mendoza for a starting spot. I'll just have one thing to say about that. Kirk, can you come to the front of the line real quick and sit down and bring your agent? Bring him or her or whomever, but bring your agent. I don't know what. You know what? Let me speak to the agent directly. Agent, come sit down. Kirk Cousins' agent, come sit down. So the front and sit down. I don't know what you be telling these people in these meetings. I don't know what you're selling, but whatever it is, gets Kirk Cousins the bag. The GOAT of agents gotta go to Kirk Cousins agents, because my God, today, how do you convince people to pay this man and he ain't won nothing? Now Kirk has battled injuries, and overall, he's a solid quarterback. He's a solid QB. He just hasn't really. He don't really have much to show for it. And Kirk, I apologize. That's not a knock against you, because I know you can be great, but we also need to see results. But your agent, I don't know what it is. I don't know what lies he's telling. I don't know what he's saying, but I need to know. Teach me the game. So shout out to your agent, Kirk, and shout out to you. Good luck down there in Vegas. Now, Cleveland, come on, front of the line, sit down, get comfortable. Y'all got all them quarterbacks down there. Who's starting? Because the streets is saying Deshaun Watson. And what I'll say about the Deshaun Watson thing, he needs to. Deshaun Watson is getting paid way too much money to not be playing. Yes, I understand injuries. He was injured. But if you healthy, at this point, sir, I don't even care if you're in a wheelchair, you better roll that wheelchair on that field and make something happen. Because what are we doing? But I've heard that he looked like, I've heard that his recent workout, he looked really, really good. He looked like old Deshaun, maybe Deshaun from Clemson. But I heard he looked really, really good. But then they got folks talking about my boy Shador. Yeah, I don't like what I'm hearing about my man Shador. Now, I will always pull for Shador. I will always pull for Dion and his family because I do think, like, I absolutely am a fan. Um, and I think Dion just wants what's best for his sons, for his kids, period. And I don't know why Shador, even though he was projected to go first round, why he ended up not going. We've heard the rumors. We heard the rumors that the NFL owners didn't want to deal with him. They didn't want to deal with Dion. They didn't like how Shador spoke in his meetings with the team owner and coaches or whatever. Neither here nor there. But I don't think Shador is a horrible quarterback. I do think he was better than where he was drafted. That's just me. But I've been hearing that in these training camps that he has not looked his best. I then even read somewhere where defensive coordinators and other NFL execs have said they're not concerned about Shador. As far as one NFL defensive coordinator said that he will sleep great every night knowing that he only has to face Shador. And I don't like that. I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't like that. I don't like it because they said it and they's like, but we're gonna remain anonymous. Why we anonymous? Say it with your chest. If you want to throw shade, shade with your chest. Say it out loud for the Saints in the back. Because if it's a legitimate opinion of his play and you're not concerned about his play, like someone said, they don't know if he's going to develop. They don't know if he's going to be better than what he is. That is a valid observation. Okay, that's a valid take. It's just a take. I don't think it's anything, it shouldn't be anyway, personal towards Shador. And that's what makes me think maybe this is personal because you want to remain anonymous. Why do you want to remain anonymous? Say it loud. Say it with your chest. Say, I don't think Shador that good, and he might not ever be that good. And we gonna sleep like babies if we got to play them every Sunday. Come on now. Say it with your chest. I just don't like the anonymous stuff. Just talk about it. And there's a way to say it and critique his play without bashing him as a person or bashing his character. Just say like, hey, he needs to work on this. He needs to work on that. This is what I'm seeing that he needs to do. Or maybe he needs to work on getting out of the pocket faster. Maybe he needs to work on getting rid of the football faster. Maybe he needs to work on reading defense better. Things of that nature. Like, give him some constructive criticism. Instead of trying to bash him and tear him down, give him some legitimate constructive criticism that he can take back to his trainers and work on and improve from there. I don't think that's hard. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. But anyway, so of the three, then of course you got Dylan Gabriel. So of the three, they're saying Dylan Gabriel looked the best. I even heard some say they moving on to next season. They ain't even the season ain't even started, and they ain't even worried about this season. That is insane to me. But they're saying they're pushing for Art. Let's tank this season so they can get Arch Manning next year. Hey, that's all I heard. But hey, we shall see. Of course, I spoke about the injuries that we've seen so far in training camp. You got Jalen Walker. He's the Atlanta Falcons edge who he tore his ACL. Yeah, sucks. So that's going to leave a void in the Falcons pass rush. Ricky Pearsall, he's the wide receiver for the 49ers. He's officially shut down for the year to undergo surgery on a persistent PCL injury. Nick Scarlton, he's an edge for the Panthers. He tore his ACL also, which definitely, it definitely takes a hit to their O-line. I'm sorry, to their defensive line. Brian Brees is the defensive tackle for the New Orleans Saints. He also suffered a torn ACL. So that also is a blow to the New Orleans Saints defensive line as well. Another injury for the Panthers, Chris Brazil III, he wide receiver, he suffered an LCL tear, which, he was shooting for the number 3 spot. Then you got Roy Robertson he's a defensive lineman with the Giants. He is on injured reserve. So it's a lot of injuries going on. A lot of injuries going on right now in training camp. And I hope, wish each of these athletes the best, each of these players the best. I mean, when things tear, you got torn ACL, MCL, LCL. Like those injuries take a while to recover and usually require surgery to repair. Um, and if you don't repair them properly, or if you don't take the time to get them repaired, it could lead to even a more significant injury. So, thoughts and prayers to those that have suffered injuries so far in training camp. Hopefully, they can work that way back, and so they can get back on the field and do it and play the game that they love to play. So, shout out to them. Now let's slide on over here to the WNBA. As I told y'all before, we've been seeing some great basketball. Great basketball. The biggest news, is Kelsey Plum. If you don't know who Kelsey Plum is, she played for the Las Vegas Aces up until about 2 seasons ago. And then she went to the Los Angeles Sparks. Okay. Well, she has now been traded to the Phoenix Mercury just ahead of the trade deadline. Okay. She accepted a discount deal worth $999,000 to assist the Sparks payroll flexibility earlier, but reports indicate she fully intends to explore the open market as an unrestricted agent this upcoming offseason. So Phoenix, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable, because if you ain't gonna pay her, she might be out of there. Well, it sounds like she's out of there. Okay. Just want to put that out there. Under the new CBA, though, Plum is eligible for a $1.4 million Supermax contract, and she definitely could target a championship contending team for a big dollar deal. So, that's the latest with that. And we're gonna come back to that a little bit more. We're gonna talk about these MVP standings, though. Of course, with the MVP rankings right now for the WNBA, A'ja Wilson is sitting up at the top all by herself. Just her. And then it's everybody else. A'ja is the cheat code. Yeah, I said it. The cheat code. She is the code that you want to go Google on YouTube to figure out how to beat a game. That's A'ja. Ridiculous. But she's the front runner. My girl Kelsey Mitchell out there in Indiana is right behind her, holding steady at number 2. Kelsey is averaging just about 30 points a game and has had at least 14 to 15 games straight with 20 points or more. She also just won Eastern Conference Player of the Month. Yeah. Paige Beckers is at number 3. Paige with the Dallas Wings. She's been having a great season. Olivia Miles. Olivia, come back. Come to the front of the line, baby. Olivia is putting the W on notice, and she's a rookie. This might be the best rookie season or season from a rookie that I've seen since Candace Parker. And Candace Parker won Rookie of the Year and MVP. If A'ja wasn't dropping numbers the way she's dropping them, Olivia would blow this out of the water. I mean, it wouldn't even be close. Wouldn't be close. And on top of that, Olivia is playing on the best team in the W. Yeah. With the Minnesota Lynx. And of course, tied in 5th is Caitlin Clark and Brianna Stewart. They're both tied at 5th place. Caitlin, despite missing a few games because she was injured, is still having a good season. Of course, people will say she's not. I will never understand why people do dislike her or whatever, or don't really like her game. I won't ever understand it. And I guess it's not meant for me to understand. And that's your opinion. I don't hate anyone who has their own opinion about that. That's their business. I don't care. But I just don't understand what is it about her that you don't like, or about her game per se. And I'm wondering at times, is it about her game, or is it if it's her as a person? And then I wonder, well, how do you even know her as a person? But that's neither here nor there. But she's tied with Brianna for 5th place. So the standings though, as far as the teams, you got Minnesota, they 25-5. They ain't even lost 10 games yet. 25-5. And they are holding a dominant 4-game lead over the rest of the league. Yeah, they are. And the game that they played against the Fever, my God, today, that was some great freaking basketball that was played. You hear me? Great basketball played. And of course, at second place is Las Vegas. It's the Aces. They're at 21-9. 8th place, New York is the Liberty. Yeah, they're in 8th. The Golden State Valkyries, the Atlanta Dream, the Dallas Wings, Indiana Fever, and the Washington Mystics are tightly packed in between there. So if the playoffs are set, if the playoffs was to start today, you got Minnesota, the Las Vegas Aces, you have the New York Liberty, the Golden State Valkyries, the Atlanta Dream, the Dallas Wings, the Indiana Fever, and the Washington Mystics. That would be your playoffs if it started today. And Washington Mystics, y'all come up here, sit down, front of the line, everybody. That team is hooping. Shakira Austin and Sonia Citron. My God, today. Balling. You can't count them out of nothing. They hooping. Point blank, period. A little bit of expansion news with the W. They officially announced its newest expansion team, which will be the Cleveland Sirens. I don't know about that mascot, but hey, it ain't my city, so okay. But the franchise revealed its new branding, tapping into the Lake Erie community and local color schemes as the league expands its footprint. So, of course, we just got the Portland Fire and the Toronto. Wait, did I do it backwards? I know we got expansion team in Toronto. You got one in Portland. You also have next season coming. The Houston Comets are returning. The Connecticut Sun are going to be the Houston Comets, so they're going to go to Houston. So that's coming as well. I believe Detroit also will have a team, and I'm not sure if that's 2027 or 2028, but the W is growing. The league is growing, and I love it. 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 It's been a long time coming. Very long time coming. But I just want to, we gotta get into a little bit of drama because sports is sports, but we gotta talk about a little bit of the drama that's blended in with it. Because what I want to know, Kelsey, why did you really leave LA? What happened? Because you accepted it. You accepted the discount to play for LA. And then you were abruptly traded to Phoenix right after the All-Star break. Well, even after that. Now I get you probably met. Did they say they wasn't gonna pay you no money? I don't know. But I have so many questions. I have so many questions about that. You got Naneka over there. It's a solid team. Cameron Brink, De'Erica Hamby. Yeah, what happened? I'm gonna need you to let us know what's up. But y'all know I'm gonna do some digging and try to find out what's going on every time. Of course, the drama is in Cleveland with Shador. As I said before, I don't know why y'all don't like that kid. I don't get it. It's just like it is with Caitlyn. I don't know why y'all don't like her. Many say, well, they put her on this pedestal. Da, 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 da. She didn't put herself on the pedestal. She ain't asked for it. Y'all hate the girl for something she ain't got no control over. Grow up. The same thing with Shador. They say they don't like him because they say he acts arrogant or whatever. I don't see arrogance. I see confidence. But hey, that's just me. So hopefully, Cleveland gonna figure out who their quarterback gonna be. Hopefully. We'll see. But now this is what I really wanted to get into because I'm over these crazy narratives and storyline in the W that is interfering with the game itself. Yes, we need storylines. Yes, we absolutely need um information or news. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with even standing up for what you believe in. Huge fan of that. But Sophie Cunningham from the Indiana Fever. So Sophie has been speaking out against the inclusion of transgender women in sports, in women's sports. Let me be specific. And so on July 21st, Cunningham stated that she wants to protect young girls in the locker room or young girls in sports who shouldn't have to go against biological men. And then she later doubled down on it, calling it common sense. Now, so for this is my only issue with that. There are absolutely no transgender women in the WNBA. If there is, nobody has came out and admitted it. So I'm not sure what locker room you're referring to. We have enough going on with the racial discourse from fans being directed to black players. We don't need this. This is not even an issue. There are no transgender players in the WNBA. None. And I want to say across sports as a whole, it might be 11, but none of them are playing in the WNBA, from my understanding. So I'm not sure what you are fighting for, Sophie. I don't know what you're fighting for, and for me, it's coming off as an unnecessary distraction. Again, we have enough discourse going on where, especially with Caitlyn and fans thinking that Caitlyn needs to be protected, and fans sending letters to Congress, or Congress sending letters to the WNBA about how to protect Caitlyn, and she don't even want that. Like we are tired. Let's focus on basketball. I'm not just simply saying shut up and dribble. I'm saying fight for the issues that need to be fought for. If it is an issue there, for instance, our black players being harassed, whether it's online or in person, by trolls who use the color of their skin to taunt them, who choose to dislike them, who choose to hate them simply because they are either black or they have a sexual orientation they do not agree with. Those are issues that are worth fighting for because those issues actually exist. But transgender women playing in the WNBA right now does not exist. It doesn't exist. So I think you're just, I mean, I believe in what you want to believe in, Sophie, but I don't see where there is an issue with that. I mean, because it is, one of the executives for the Storm was suspended for 5 games, for 5 home games. Why? And apparently she had a long drawn out conversation with Cheryl Reeves. Okay, great. That's amazing. But again, I don't think this is an issue that the W has. So, hey, you want to continue to fight for what you believe in? Hey, do you? I ain't gonna stop that. But in the W right now, we got enough to worry about. We got enough to worry about. It's already the great play from these players is already being overshadowed by racial discourse, by Kathy not knowing what the hell she doing as the commissioner. We have enough. Okay, we have enough to worry about. We're trying to make sure that the WNBA players are protected as they should be, that they are not having to be harassed and thrown racial slurs at them, whether it's online or whether it is in person. We have enough on our plate right now. Okay. So that being said, I'm about to slide on up out of here. Yeah. About to slide up out of here. Y'all know your girl Tink gonna have all of the tea, all of the happiness going on the sidelines for you. Until next time, people, be great. Peace.